Hello, this will be a reading from So Send I You, Oswald Chambers. I'll be on page 127. The key to the master's ownership, the Lord of the harvest. According to our Lord, He owns the harvest, and the harvest is the crisis in innumerable lives all over the world. Therefore, pray the Lord of the harvest. Not pray because we are wrought up over the needs of the unbelievers, nor pray to produce funds for society, but pray to the Lord of the harvest. It is appalling how little attention we pay to what our Lord says. As the Father has sent me, I also send you. John 20:21. To put a sickle to reap. All over the world there are crises in lives. They are all around us, unbelieving and Christian. We meet them by the score every day we live, but unless we are set on obeying our Master's orders, we shall never see them. Supposing a crisis comes in my father's life, my brother's life, and I there as a laborer, that the harvest may be reaped for Jesus. Am I there as a laborer that the harvest may be reaped for Jesus? Jesus said, Go therefore and make disciples of all the nations. And we cannot disciple others unless we ourselves are disciples. The evangelical emphasis has too often been so many souls saved. Thank you. Now they are all right. The idea being that we have done this thing for God. It is God who saves. We have to do the discipling after people are saved. His position in His own world, Colossians 1:16-18. Our Lord's position in His own world is that of creator. From the remotest star of the last grain of sand, by Him all things were created, Colossians 1:16. His own creatures always recognize Him. He came unto His own things, John 1:11. They do not recognize our Lordship because we have too much of the brute about us. The whole creation eagerly awaits for the revealing of the sons of God, Romans 8:19. His position among His own people, John 1:11. As His own did not receive Him, Jesus is never recognized by anyone until the personal crisis of conviction of sin is reached. He is the owner of the harvest, not of everyone. They will not have Him until this point of crisis is reached. Jesus Christ owns the harvest which is produced in individuals by the stress of conviction of sin, and it is this harvest we have to pray that laborers may be thrust out to reap. We may be taken up with activities of denomination, or be giving ourselves up to this committee and that, while all about us people are ripe for harvest, and we do not reap one of them, but waste our Lord's time in over-energized activities for furthering some cause of denomination. Jesus Christ is the Lord of the harvest. There are no nations whatever in His outlook, no respect of persons with Him. His outlook is the world. How many of us pray without respect of persons and with respect to one person only, Jesus Christ? His position over His own disciples, John 17:6. They were yours, you gave them to me. The disciple is Christ's own, and the disciple is not above the master. He tells us to pray. His Spirit is abroad, and the fields are ready to harvest, but the eyes of all saving His disciples are blind. If for one whole day, quietly and determinedly, we were to give ourselves up to the ownership of Jesus and to obeying His orders, we should be amazed at its close to realize all He had packed into that one day. We say, oh, but I have special work to do. Every Christian is called to be Jesus Christ's own, one chosen by Him, one who is not above the master, and who does not dictate to Jesus as to what he or she intends to do. Our Lord calls to no special work. He calls to Himself. Pray to the Lord of the harvest, and he will engineer your circumstances and thrust you out. That's page 127 to 129.